We would like to begin by respectfully acknowledging the Gimoy Wallabara Yidinji people, the traditional custodians of the land in which we meet and record this podcast on. Art First Artist is a no BS podcast that dives into the raw technical guts of the creative industries. I'm your host, Yana Dryden, filmmaker, international award winner, and most importantly, Best Film and People's Choice Award winner at Understory 2024. We bring in the heavyweights, the pros, the visionaries, the ones shaping the scene to break down what it really takes to make art that hits hard and holds up in North Queensland. By interviewing artists, we uncover the gems, the grit, and the game-changing insights that fuel the future of creativity, backed by the Creative Life crew at Cairns Regional Council. Hi everyone and welcome to Art First Artist. My name's Yana and today I have the wonderful Alex Smee from Multi-Story Media. Welcome, Alex. Alex is a writer, director, producer, shooter, editor, all of the things wrapped up in one.
Yeah, I'm having imposter syndrome now after that intro. Thanks.
No way. Imposter syndrome. After that long, you still have the imposter syndrome.
Yeah, who doesn't, hey? Like, come on. Any creative who's just putting themselves out there and, I don't know, doing their own thing, you know, like if you're not lined up with like 20 other people doing the same sort of thing, you know, like you worry about where you're at, right? How do you measure that?
How do you measure that?
I don't know. Am I the person I say I am? And what, avoid saying anything and just be who you are, I guess. Yeah.
I can guarantee you are the person that you are. You're right here.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I went onto your website and read about all of the wonderful work that you're doing around the country. Alice Springs going into communities and storytelling. I'm just going to go straight into a question that I have.
Hit me.
That I've been thinking about.
Yeah, don't make me sit here waiting.
Yeah. Sometimes as a creative, people go, I don't know how you do it. Like, how do you write a story? Like, I'm not like you. But do you believe everyone is a storyteller?
I don't know. I think everyone has an amazing story, everyone, and they're all different and they're all interesting to other people. Like I can't tell you how many times people have said to me as a doco maker, I don't have anything interesting to say. No one's going to be interested in what I do. And that's never true because no one ever does what you do. Like that's it, you know. So it's always been my mission to hear as many of those stories as possible and tell them if I can, if I've got the capacity to do that. Is everyone a storyteller? I don't know. Some people aren't interested in doing that, I guess. Is everyone an accountant? No. It's a skill. It's a skill, definitely. Yeah.
I heard a quote the other day that the quality of your life, the experience of your life is based on the quality of the story that you tell yourself about your life and the meaning that you attach to it.
Yeah.
And so in my mind, I'm like, everyone is a storyteller, but oftentimes it sits up here.
Yeah.
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 On that, how do you draw those stories, out of people and kind of tease that out and come up with that structure of what you think that story is?
That's a really good question. I studied to be a writer because I was interested in telling stories on the page. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a journalist. And I got to the end of 2 degrees and had dabbled a little bit in multimedia and went, why would I do it just in words when I've got these are like bright lights? So I wanted to use images and sounds, and I love radio. That's one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite things. So I've been telling stories for a really long time in different ways, and not necessarily this is what wasn't what I trained to do, but in the end, I guess it was in a roundabout kind of way. And I do believe that it's an intuitive thing, but I think you gain that intuition over a period of time after listening to people a lot. And I never used to be a great listener when I was younger. I was a talker, and I thought that was what the storytelling was, but it's not. It's about being quiet, listening to what someone has to say and leaving your agenda at the door and letting someone speak for themselves and being open to hearing something that's really unfamiliar to you or uncomfortable or exciting or like whatever, but just really, really, truly listening. And I think when you spend time with people, not just in an interview like this, like if we'd had like 2 hours to sit with each other and actually have a chat, like you will come out of that experience knowing something about that person. And I guess my rule is to, I'm an editor, that's what I do the most. The rule is to stay true to the spirit of the person and the spirit in which they told their story. So you might leave the detail out here or the detail out there. Like you can't include everything, and it's the hardest thing to get rid of the detail, but you've got to just keep the details that tell that story, who that person is, not necessarily about the camping trip they went on or whatever. You've got to tell the story of the person and who they are. And I think if you can stay true to who that person is, then you're telling the right story. Yeah.
Sounds strict and structured. Oftentimes when people talk about the creative industries, it's like, oh, you know, without structure, don't have structure. It's all about being flowy and, you know, like.
No, I hate structure. I don't. I mean, it's good. It's good. Okay. So structure is really good because you need to have a reason for telling a story and pulling people along and stuff like that. That's not what's in my mind though when I'm telling a story. Like when I've got something on a timeline, it's about a feeling. It's about, oh, that belongs there. That bit of audio goes with that footage, or this is the little sub-story that needs to go here because it talks about this person in this way and that complements this, or like all these things are just, it's like a sculpture. So you start off with this big piece of wood that has very little shape, and you peel a little bit off and you go, oh, I think that's going to be the nose. And it appears as you go, and it's like you peel off until you've a timeline that was this big with a story that goes for like an hour is suddenly something this big, and it's got the essence of all those things that you were looking at because you know all that so well and you know that this captures all of that. That's kind of the process for me.
Yes. It does sound structured and disciplined in that approach, isn't it? So when you're filming something, you don't necessarily know what that story is going to be.
Oh, well, you go into something like with you're there for a reason. So like there's that. Like usually someone's hired me and said, "Can you come in and like do this story about this?" Or and it's always about excuse me, and it's always about a person. I like to do stories about people. I think they tell the stories about everything around them anyway. So there's something there. It's the essence of the person that you don't know about yet. You know the story that they want to tell because you've been given a brief, but there's a thing in the person who's speaking that you don't know about yet, and that can change everything. So that's always exciting.
Wow, and that intuition for you to really be guided
it's just there.
by
It's really strong. I'm a really curious person, like before we started this whole thing, I'm just asking you questions.
Is that what it is? Is about asking really good quality questions?
Yeah. You think about what you want to know. Like I walk into a thing and I go, like, what do I need to know for this story? Like, what are the facts I need to know for this story? And then I write down the questions that might give me some answers to those questions. And that's more like a starting point. And then as you talk to someone, you follow up on the things that they say because you're curious about something that they said and you think, oh, that might go somewhere, or that's really interesting. If I'm curious about it, someone else is going to be curious about it, right? So that's kind of, I don't know, just follow your nose.
Follow your nose in that flow.
Yeah.
What's unique about doing this in the North Queensland area, in that Cairns region? Do you feel the stories that you create in this area?
Okay, good question. I guess stories are unique to a place because they belong to the people who are in the place. I think like the approach is the same wherever you are, is that you've got to be true to the place and the person that you're talking to. And if you're that, you will capture the essence of the place. So you can turn a camera anywhere here and it looks beautiful because, it's rainforest and coastline and it's so beautiful. And the weather's great, and, there's those crazy times of years with the storms and stuff where it's dramatic and lovely, and then there's these beautiful clear blue sunny days where you're chasing the sun because it's cold and you get all those beautiful things going on. So there's no end of yumminess visually here, but I guess the essence of the place comes out in the stories that people tell you. So I worked in the Torres Strait for some time, and I did a lot of storytelling with the women at Moa Art Centre. And we did it was almost poetry. People created little scripts around places that made them feel good, and that was appropriate for that place because it's poetic. It is so beautiful in the way that people relate to the place that they live in. So that worked really well. So I guess every instance is different, but if you're true to the person and what they're trying to tell you about and the foundations of how they live their lives, the essence of the place will come out.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, and then you just go and get all those visuals that speak about what that person spoke about, that help complement the things that person said. So you can help people feel that on another level as well. It just makes for a richer sort of conversation. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a fascinating process.
Yeah.
What's the most challenging part of that, of pulling all that together?
Heat. Oh my God. Yeah. I've always worked across the top end and the heat. I worked in the Kimberley for a really long time, and I've done a lot of work in NT as well and up here, and the heat's always really full on. I don't know, 10 years ago, probably easier. That's really challenging. What's really challenging? I love it so much. Challenging. Doing it by yourself, that's really hard. If you've got no one with you to bounce ideas with, you're in the middle of something and you're not quite sure about your approach to something, and you've got no one to talk to, and you've got to work that out for yourself because you're really remote somewhere and there is no one to talk to and there's no internet that day, and you just got to work through it. So that alone thing is hard, but it also makes you a pretty good problem solver, and that becomes a thing that you just do. So, yeah, but it's hard. It's hard. It can be a really lonely job, but I like that challenge. I like working alone like that too. It's good.
Introverts unite.
Introverts unite. Oh,
together apart.
Yeah, that's it.
How good was COVID?
I know. Yeah, and I got a bit sick of that after too. I like to be able to choose when I step in the room and step out of the room. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, yeah.
To have that freedom and that flexibility. It's like, don't want to come in, but if I had the option, I could.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Although, my partner would say, but you never shut up. What are you talking about? Always talking.
You don't know me.
Yeah.
Let's get into the technical bits and pieces. What's in your kit?
In my kit.
Yeah.
That takes a long time to get together. I was just talking to the gorgeous Jan Catoni, fellow filmmaker, yesterday about this, and it takes months to get a kit together that suits the thing that you want to do with yourself for your work. It's it happens over a really, really long period of time. So I've got a mirrorless camera that's really light. It's like these ones. It's a Sony A7. And a screen, like a monitor that sits on top of it because I'm a bit blind now and I can't see. You can't see in the back of these things anyway. Don't ever try to shoot on these little cameras without a monitor. It doesn't work. So I've got that, and I've got the radio mic, and I've got the top mic, and for doco sort of stuff, and, and the tripod. And for doco sort of stuff, that's enough, and a flecky if you need to bounce some light in, and some pegs and gaffer tape because gaffer everything, hair, fleckies, whatever you need to tape up. So because I work out in the bush a lot as well, I need to be light, and I need to be able to get stuff on a plane without paying too much excess baggage as well. All these things have to be considered when you're thinking about what you want to carry around. I've carried around some pretty heavy kit before, and that's not fun. And it also stops you from being able to jump from one place to the next quickly and get the shots that you want, or be adaptable to what other people's movements are. And I've got a gimbal, which I take on some jobs when I want to do, some big, beautiful wide shots and stuff. And I've got a couple of really nice lenses, just a standard lens and a 50mm lens, which I just got recently, which is my new favourite thing. Because I'm just I love still photography.
I love a prime. I love
and that's your
50.
thing. And I just want to work with a 50mm for a while and just get good at that again. It's been a really long time since I've stepped into that. But the post-production at the back end of still photography is like that compared to the footage thing. And I just want to be there for a while and chill, Yeah.
How do you go with that context shift between – this is something that I always struggle with as well. You're in your producer brain, and then you've got to go into your technical brain and doing that context shift between while also engaging with someone who's sitting in front of you and trying to, how do you manage that?
I don't have to manage it a lot anymore because it's just muscle memory, because it's been a really long time. So I can just concentrate on listening to people, which is really nice. My hands just do this thing, it's like until I get back and I go, oh my God.
It's out of focus.
And I check the white balance. Why is everyone orange? So yeah, that doesn't happen so much anymore. But it's still a thing that I do. Like there's a checklist every time I set something up, and I check what frame rate am I in? What's my shutter speed? What's this? What's the aperture? What's it look like? What's the fall off at the back? What's the color look like? Where's the light coming from? All these things, like what does it sound like? Are we at the right spot? Is she going to raise her voice? I need to keep watching that because it will change. And is there wind coming in? And all those things that just wreck a shot. And then that last thing that, sometimes, you miss if you weren't looking close enough. Oh my God, she's not in focus. Like that horror story. Like you have nightmares about that stuff.
I used to photograph weddings.
Yeah.
For 12 years.
Yeah.
And I still have nightmares where I'm like on the way to a wedding and I'm like, I can't find my camera bag or my memory cards have corrupted or something like that. And it's like the worst fear.
Yeah.
What's your worst horror story? Come on, you must have one.
Worst horror story. Oh my God.
Losing data, losing.
Oh, okay, data wrangling's really hard for me because I'm such I have an obsessive sort of fixation on like the detail of things, and so dumping stuff off a camera and a card and deleting, I find that very difficult. I have to check it a million times. I'm just really pedantic and annoyingly so.
It pays to be paranoid.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of a moment where did it all fall apart? I'm sure it's happened a million times.
It's traumatic, so you've just kind of blocked it out.
Probably.
Yeah.
There've been instances where I've been interviewing someone and it's been amazing, and it's been really hard to get this person in this spot to get this opportunity, and then I haven't pressed record. Like the button didn't go on, and I realise halfway through and I go, okay, I've got two choices here. I can pretend that never happened because I don't want them to know that I just did that because A, professionally real bad, and B, personally worse. It's so embarrassing. And you just go, or I can just be totally honest about it. And I just am totally honest about it. So, it happens. We're human. So, I've just said to people, I didn't have record pressed, and they roll their eyes and they go, oh my God. And, because they don't have time. And it's like, yeah, that. You just got to handle it. You just got to sit in there and be really uncomfortable for a minute. And within a couple of minutes, we've all forgotten about sort of what happened. They'll probably take it away and talk about it to someone, hopefully not too much. And then you just move on. So that's happened in the past. But, that sort of thing happens once and never, 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 never again, because what's the last thing you do before you start talking to someone now? Because that happened, you make sure you've got the red circle in the screen and it's on. And it's ticking over.
You got to learn from these mistakes.
Well, that's how you learn. It's about, you don't just step into the field and you're a great filmmaker or you're a great conversationalist or you're really good at this stuff. It's a process, and that process is fun. Like it doesn't happen. Like you don't suddenly go, oh, I'm really good at it now. Like it's ongoing and you're always learning things. Like the last job I just went out on, just then I was down in Winton doing a story with someone, and I got back and I said to my partner, that's the best footage I've ever shot. And I was like, well, that's not surprising because it's the last thing I shot after all this period of time. Like the last thing I shot should always be the best thing that I shot, and it should just keep improving. Like it doesn't just sit there and go like, now I'm really good, that's it. Like it's not a thing. Like it should keep getting better and better, and every time you get back to the edit suite, which like I'm always like, I can't sleep until I look at that footage and make sure everything's good in it. Like our conversation went well, the levels are right, the light's right. So I sit down in front of it and I'm like, and then I watch it and I go, and then I can go to bed. Yeah.
Beautiful. That's so amazing. I think you just like describe the art, the process of becoming an artist and living that, as well as is not looking at, I guess, how we look at failure, how we recover from failure, or, not failure, but like improving over time and focusing on that.
If you don't make the mistake, how are you going to look out for it in the future and work around it? Like, like you're going to make those things happen. Like it's never going to be perfect the first time. Like no one steps out there and is amazing straight away. Like who does that?
No one.
It's not a thing.
It's not even a thing.
No.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like, even you writing, and it's like, you were writing and it's, built up these skills towards, where you are today. But, kind of from the outset, you thought it was going to be a writer, but you're ending up somewhere completely different.
I still try to be a writer. I do blogs, and they've been going for years, like decades. Because I need that publishing thing. I need to be able to, you got to share stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're a filmmaker, right? So when do you get the joy of the filmmaking? When does that come? It comes in the making of it, because that process is so fun. But when's that moment where an audience watches what you did and they interact with it and they bring their own meaning to your story? That's when it becomes film. When you've got that really beautiful interaction between you and like the filmmaker and the audience. That's a collaboration of a story. Then it becomes something bigger than what you made it, because people bring their own perspectives to it. So that's why I like publishing writing. I haven't done it now. I haven't published for about a year, because I've just run out of time because I'm really busy. Good thing, bad thing for writing, good thing for other things. It's good because it's good to be busy. But I miss it. I really miss it. I still like to be on. I like to be on the page. I like words.
And it's like that creative flow to continue that happening. Is it just
absolutely? And it gets frustrating, because every time you go back to it, like it could be 6 months since I've written anything, or in this instance, a year since I've written, like sat down and written a piece, and you feel like you're starting back at the beginning again, because you run out of all that practice time and stuff. But you can fall into it pretty quickly. It would be nice to do all the things all at once. I want to do all the things all at once.
That's how you try and do everything. You end up doing nothing.
Yeah.
But yes.
Give me all the things.
All the things all together all at the same time.
Yeah, in the one room.
What sort of pieces do you actually write about? Is it like your perspectives on things, or like what?
Yeah, they're just little microcosmoses of the way I see the world. I've got a pretty wild imagination, so it's creative nonfiction. I like to cross that genre between real and not real. I like that sort of middle space. I wouldn't say it was non-fiction, but it's not fiction. It's too much based on reality. But I don't know, it depends whether you call the thoughts and imaginings in your own mind fiction or non-fiction. Like that's my life. I live it, and that's my experience of the world. So I guess it's not fiction.
Well, that's it. Everyone's version of reality is very different.
Anyway, that's the discussion I like to have with myself and with people who read my stuff and watch my films and the things that I make as well. I like that to be a conversation.
Yes, trying that out. What advice would you give to your younger self?
Oh, okay.
Starting out on your filmmaking journey, if you could turn back time.
I don't know whether it would be advice that I would have taken from my own self, but like to value your skills in a creative way, but also in a financial way as well. How much work do we do for free? Like I've done like most of my life, I've started making films for friends, clients, stuff for nothing, getting docos up, spending all my savings, like stuff like that, things that like never happen, and taking myself on trips and stuff like that. And for nothing, because video making was seen as something that was fun and that wasn't a skill or work or something like that. And it was only like in the last probably 15, 20 years, like 15 years, I reckon, that I went, this is a thing, this is a skill, just like being a lawyer or or an accountant or something like that. It's a skill that people use and they get value from it. So I think most creatives don't value they find it hard to put their hand up and say, I'm worth this.
Absolutely.
I think it's really important.
Yeah. To be able to feed yourself so you can keep going and
keep making, because what would all those people, lockdown and COVID do without their music and their films and their books and their, come on.
Yeah.
Who's making all that stuff?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to
creatives.
eat. It's very important.
They've got to support themselves.
That's right.
Yeah.
And how do you, where can we see your work? Like, how do you get your work out there so people can connect with it?
I don't, that's not the sort of work that I kind of do. I guess I've got the website, which is really old at the moment. So like when you look at it, so it needs updating. There's a lot of work that's happened since then. It goes out through the clients, I think, who hire me to do the work. So, for instance, I did some work recently for Screen Queensland on the FIS project. that's not something that like, oh, I'll stick it on my website. Like I always stick bits and pieces of my work on my website to showcase what I've been up to. So it looks like, it's going to look like I'm busy. I am. But yeah, you got to have it up there. Too busy to actually update the website. So that sort of stuff does go up there, but it goes out through clients' work and stuff like that, because a lot of the work I do is for advocacy and education and that sort of stuff, and promotion for organisations, community organisations and that sort of thing. So it goes out through their
channels. Yeah.
Yeah.
And for local filmmakers in the Cairns region as well, like, did you have any advice on how they can get their work out there? Like, say, for instance, Understory.
Yeah, I love the fact that there's a local film festival here. It's amazing because the sense of space here is so full on, because the space is so full on. Like, it's so dramatic, isn't it? The weather, the colours, like a million shades of green out there and then some, and the animals and the water and the mountains. Like, seriously, you step outside the door here and there's those mountains behind you, and it's just, you can get used to it and stop looking at it, but it's extraordinary. And anyone who comes here like knows it. So stories from this region, like the fact that there's a space, a hub where people can show how they live their lives to other people and their perspective of the world is so important to have here in this region, because it talks about this region, because it's the way you live your life here, and it's very different from other places. That film festival, Understory Film Festival, is also like a really gorgeous hub where everyone can come together and publicly see someone else's work, and they could be congratulated for something that they did, a creative thing that they did. And like we were saying before, that's the interaction between the story and the public. Like, how do the people react to the thing that you did? Did they applaud? And if they did, like, how does your heart swell? It's amazing. And what are you going to do with that feeling? You're going to go and make another story, right? So, like, it's a gorgeous way to showcase films. Like, put your films into film festivals and stuff like that. Do that. But don't wait for other people to do things for you either. Like, have a film night at your house. Like, stick up a sheet and get a projector and get all your mates who've been making some films and stuff, and just have a night and watch them. Like, it's a great way for people, like, to hang about, have a house party, talk about the next project that you might do some networking, share that really gorgeous feeling that you get when you put something up on the screen. It's an amazing feeling.
It is. Pull the introverts together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How long have you been? So you're a judge for Understory.
I've done it for the last couple of years. So this will be the third.
I'm pretty sure I'm going to say this in every single episode of this, but like, from last year to the year before, the quality of films from this region, like, I was like, wow. How have you seen them change over time?
Well, 3 years isn't that long, I guess. So, like, I don't. Yeah, I mean, there's a really huge, because this festival is so broad in the genres that it takes in. It's pretty hard from year to year to go, oh, this got better or this got better, because things sort of spike up. So, like, there's a lot of experimental filmmaking, artistic video making, which I love. A lot of people using their tools in a creative way like that to talk about themes and moods and stuff like I love that. It's amazing. It's a great way to use tools, and they're also important stories. And then you've got your music video clips and that sort of thing. Like, the quality of those is always amazing. I mean, there's people who do that professionally, putting their work into the film festival as well. So of course their films are really good quality because that's what they do. But there's also the, like, really young people, and not so young people, but people who've been around and are, like, not at a pro level, but just making stories because they love it, and that's their thing, and that's what they want to do, and they're really passionate about it, and so there's, like, that level in there. So I don't know. It's such a mixed. I don't know, Yana. It's such a mixed basket. I think the reason I started the Next Level workshops. Can we just talk about that now?
Yes, that was my next question.
Yeah, it seems really relevant.
Yeah.
So I started this series of workshops a couple of years ago because there was such a big difference between the beginner level, like people just coming out of school and stuff like that with not a lot of experience, and then professionals who are putting stuff in, and, like, where is this middle ground? Like, where are these people and how would they get the skills from this point to get to here. So you've got some options, and one is to go to university and spend an enormous amount of money and 3 years of your life, which is not a bad thing. Like if that's what you want to do, go for it. You can leave town and you can go to AFTRS and you can do a film school or something like that. You can do that and also get skills there. That's for some people. It's not for everyone. Or you can stay here in the space and you can keep making. Now, what's the support for you here then? Look, I don't know. And I wanted to experiment a little bit with an opportunity where people could work on making real content. Like there was going to be an outcome at the end. They were going to come out with something, and along the way, they'd learnt skills because I didn't go to film school. I didn't do that thing. I taught myself along the way through the jobs that I had. I stepped into an editing job in a documentary company a really long time ago, and I loved editing and I never stopped doing it. But then I got into camera, and then I got into directing and the writing and all that sorts, and that just came with time. And I went into the spaces that interested me, and it's a lovely way to learn. And that journey is fun. It's so fun because you don't necessarily know what you want to do as soon as you leave school. Like you might go, I want to be a filmmaker, but like doing what? Like there's a lot of jobs out there. So which is the space you want to fall into? And that's something you discover over time. So if you have the opportunities to go to a workshop and create some real stuff with some support, like professional support there to help you to understand, yes, what you're doing is the right thing. You could do this thing a little more efficiently, or you could know this about your camera, which would help the quality of the thing that you make. Like this is how you use your tools creatively to get the story you want to get. All those things that you just need a little bit of quick advice about sometimes, so you can go off and feel inspired to go and experiment with those things, because that's how you get good.
Get good, then learn through the doing. The 100 hours is through the doing. And
you don't get good because you went to the lectures. That's not how you get good. So, and everyone knows that. Like,
I love that. Get good.
Get good.
How do you get good?
I just made it up.
Next level program, no. Get good program.
Get good. Next level, get good. I'm going to change it. I'm changing it. It's not next level. Everyone coming to the next level.
Everyone get good program.
Change the name. It's called Get Good.
Thank you so much. It has been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah.
Sitting with you, hearing, incredible stories. Like I could sit with you for hours and hours and hours and hours. What are your next movements? Like what are you working on? Obviously you've got the next level program. Anything else that you can kind of share of?
Yeah, no, I'm just like, I'm doing a lot of travel at the moment. So I'm back and forward to Central Australia doing some work out there. ICTV. I really, really want to do a short film which is in my mind. And I keep saying that. I've been saying that for 6 months, but I need to get the thing down on paper. I've got like a co-worker who's constantly calling me and going, "Where is it? You didn't send it through. You said you'd send it this week, and I've been really busy." Don't be so busy. Just do the thing, right?
You need a timeline.
Yeah,
but
you've got
to.
No, I've got my whiteboard, but you've got to make your choices about what you're putting your time into. And like we were talking before we got in here, the way I work is not a business model. Which, it's like I earn enough money to do the work I do. Like that's pretty much where it goes. And because I love it, like I chose a lifestyle because I love doing this work. And I feel privileged to travel all over the country and do the things that I do. And I don't think I would change that for anything, but it's not a business model. Don't. That's
it, yeah.
Don't jump in thinking like it can get, like we were saying before, like it can get pretty hand to mouthy sometimes, but it's never uninteresting. And I can't stop my curiosities. I have to keep going.
That's it.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. And yes.
Thanks for having me. This is such a great series. I love the idea of it. Like featuring creatives doing the things that they do. Yeah, creatives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Treat them good, everybody.
That's right. Eat it and pay us well.
Yeah.
We
be nice.
We have them
be kind. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks, Yana.